following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
This isn't just a game. This is iRacing. You are not seeing anything weird on your screen right now. Yes, the cars are turning right, and right only. It is the nightmare that we've always woken up to as racing fans. A track where you only turn right. It's here. It is Monza. As we turn right only tonight and get ready to go for 75 laps of racing. I am the captain. We welcome you in. Obviously, very abbreviated pre-race show here, as some things are going on, and we're ready to go for 75 laps of racing here this evening as we take a look at the schedule here in the second set of 4 races to crown the Master of the Draft season champion, which of course is presented by Vet2Track. Tonight it's Monza, the right-hand turn. Atlanta next week, Dega to finish it out at the towards the end of October, before we round up the race of 4 here in the Gen 7 before we go to the 87s in November. Got a pretty decent field here tonight, ready to go racing. Let's take a look at the point standings as we enter tonight. 2 different point standings to show you now. This, the overall standings. This is with both the 4 races of the first series of 4, plus last week's race at Daytona, as Joe Wells leads, Travis Gilbert by 56, Dean Wilkinson, Scott Wise, and Quentin Clark, your top 5 in the standings there. Now, after Daytona last week, Joe Wells leads Gilbert by 8, Pickle, Simmer, Ward, and Daniel Giroux, your top 5 in the Gen 7 series of 4 races before we crown a champion in this series. Again, it's like the cups in Mario Kart. I keep using that comparison because it's so true. You get 4 races, we crown a champion. 4 races, crown a champion until the end there at race number 24, which of course will crown not only the champion of that particular cup, if you will, but also will be the champion of the, or should we call it the Master of the Draft, presented by Vet2Track. So there we go, all caught up after last week's race at Daytona, which saw Joe Wells finally get that first win of the season. He had finished top 5 in every race but 1 in the season, and then finally made that 1 in the win column last week. So congratulations to him on that. We'll try to talk to him here in a moment, but first, let's see, we got about 2.5 minutes. Let's actually do so. Let's talk to Joe here, and I should prerequisite before I talk to Joe, you're going to get the usual introduction here. Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello, Joe. Well, obviously getting ready to go racing here at Monza, as everybody's probably going to be adjusting their monitors and all different types of things here tonight, but with the right-hand corners. One thing I overheard Scott talking about in the chat basically before the race was driving it like Darlington, which kind of befuddled me a little bit. Is that what you're seeing out here in this driving style tonight, or is this something you're going to see a pack of cars, or is it going to be one where you got to go single file? What do you expect here?
I think I can't really speak on Darlington. I don't race there. I'm pretty bad when it comes to miles, anything other than the super speedway. But
Right.
I think what I noticed in the practice is 2 wides definitely possible. It's gonna sound odd, but I kind of like don't hate turning right in these compared to turning left.
Right.
That is. So it's definitely going to be unique. I think with some of the changes that we implemented, having single file start and restarts here
Okay.
is really going to make a big impact on if we can actually get more than 2 or 3 laps down. So we're hoping it's going to be a little bit cleaner compared to last time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Obviously, I look forward to every race. You never know what's going to happen here, but obviously to get that first win last week, you got top fives all the way except for that finale at Talladega to finally go to victory lane. Though it's the start of the next series after winning a championship, you must feel like momentum's still on your side right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely feel like momentum's on my side more than ever actually. I think today is one of those swing races as well where if you can really take a good leap in the points if you have a good finish. So getting that first one out of the way though definitely helped build some confidence. I think going into the rest of the season on top of that truck championship.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, great job last week. Congratulations on the win, and go get another one tonight.
Thank you. I'll try not to get swept away in the hurricane right now.
Yeah, don't do that. I've got previous advice. I've already been telling family members on the east coast of Florida to run, so I can only imagine what you're going through where you are. So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
All the best to you and the family there. So,
Much love. I appreciate it, man.
absolutely. That is Joe Wells, who, by the way, is I'm not sure exactly in Florida, but he's over near the West Coast, I think. And they've got a guy named Milton that's unfortunately breathing down their necks here in the next couple of days. And we hope for nothing but the best there on their end. So, as a matter of fact, that's probably a weather update on my phone. But let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, cars are gridded and they are rolling on the track here. 23 cars going to attempt to do something that I'm not sure if these guys have ever done before in this series, but it's something that could be interesting here tonight. As Roger Rios Matias going to be the pole sitter here tonight. Congratulations to Roger, as he has gotten the Vivid EV Pole Award this evening. We weren't able to get qualifying on the air here tonight, but congratulations to Roger and the Vivid EV Pole Award. And I believe you're going to see the Vivid EV car on track in Vegas later on this season. I think I saw a little promo there with Blaine Perkins driving in Discord. So not sure if that part's accurate or not. If so, ignore what I just said. Otherwise, thank you to Vivid EV. All right, rest of your starting lineup here on your screen. Brian Hayes is going to start on this outside. Travis Gilbert, Andrew Moore Jr., James Hudson, AJ Condon, as we see your top 12 in the standings. As, again, 24 cars. Jacob Bowen, Krishan Elliott, Jason Branch, Scott Wise starting 17th. Sam Taylor, Dusty White. Race information tonight. 75 laps. Stages are at 15 and 38. It is 68 degrees, 75%, or 75 degree track temp, 64%. Humidity around this 2.64 mile track, about as big as Talladega Superspeedway. The banking's a lot steeper. The track is a lot older, obviously history-wise. Believe it or not, this is actually the traditional way to drive Monza. This track, when it was put in, you drove it like this. So the impacts to the barrels and stuff like that we saw in the first race here might not be as much here tonight. We will have to see. But here's Roger Rios Matias going to bring him to the green flag as we turn right this time in Monza in the Gen 7, the next gen cars. Green flag in race number 2 of the Masters of the Draft. Our cameras presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online. Somebody's going to hit that wall right there. Online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com, as Stephen Melnick's already had some issues over here in turn 1, a couple cars. And we are still green. Down the back straightaway they go. You see the draft come into play. You heard the rules here tonight. It is single file restarts. And we'll go over that more this evening as the situation allows. As for the lead, that is Travis Gilbert to the outside of Roger Rios Matias. He's going to take the lead off of turn 4. There's a big jump right there we got to be careful of. That could cause some cars to get out of shape as they race their way down to turn 1. Travis Gilbert leading. 2 by 2. First 3 rows back and about a 9 to 10 car breakaway right now. The good news, we've made it past lap 1, which we did not do in the all left-handed truck race. Very legit question here, I think, by Mr. John Kelly. They could not turn left. They did struggle. They had, 18 cautions, I think it was, in that 75-lap race here. However, they've worked on things. There have been some rule changes. Lawrence went to work. Scott's went to work, and hopefully these guys have done some prep here to get ready, and so far, so good here. 2 laps in. AJ Condon up to 2nd. He's up 4 positions. Roger Rios Matias up to 3rd. Brian Hayes there 4th. Now Al Likens, your top 5. So 18 laps here, the stage 1 break. As that McDonald's car pulling out of line back there. I believe that is Al Likens in a 25 car. Not sure. Still trying to see what paint schemes here. And right there against the boards at nearly 200 mile an hour. One car getting loose down there on the bottom side. That's Shane Ward. Out of control in that 39 car. And a great save on his part. That could have been really bad for the birthday boy here, celebrating a birthday. Apparently family took him out to dinner this week. So happy birthday to the young man there in the 39 car. As Melnick still having some issues back here. Apparently he's on pit road. So a tough break for the Georgia driver. On board here at the 69 car of Jacob Bowen as he follows the 3 of Joe Wells with that McDonald's paint this week. He did not put the number in the back of his car like he said he would. The 5 of Condon there to his inside. Is Ward having more issues back here as he is off the track. But we stay green still. There's Bowen right there going to the inside as we ride on board with Condon. You see that front end dragging. It just shows you how rough and how bumpy this track is. And the one thing these guys don't have to worry about as much, we talked about this a few minutes ago, the walls. They're not as sticking out and ready to grab you as much as the left-handed race because this is the traditional way to go around the track. So you don't have those walls that are basically backwards per se here at this Monza track, so you don't have to worry about, an issue like you saw with Scott Wise and a couple others in the race a couple weeks ago where they just went straight into the wall that was sitting over at the end of the final corner of the road courses. There's some contact between Condon and Likens. At the 7th position there's 5 laps in the books. Already 3 cars having issues. Shane Ward, Darrell Johnson, Stephen Melnick. As the front 8 cars have pulled away. Your second line with Quentin Clark, Jason Branch, Scott Wise, Krishan Elliott in that 14 car. Not sure how much handling is going to come into play later on in this race. Could be very interesting when it's all said and done here. You get a chance, share the stream out to some friends and family members. I know it was a little late to the start, so we might not have as many viewers here to start with, but would love for you to help us get the word out there of this race here tonight at Monza on this Tuesday night. Again, apologies for the little bit of a late start here this evening, but the race is on and we are going. As 11 cars up here battling for the lead. Got to show some patience out here. As Roger doing a great job up there in the front. James Hudson now up to the second position after starting fifth. You see the car's getting a little tight there off turn 4, and then they hit that bump. The car doing a good job not getting out of shape, really. You would think a car like that getting a little bit of wheel spin maybe off that corner, but everybody doing pretty good. Another bump into turn 1 there. Front 3 trying to get away here from the leaders as Gilbert rides. There he is in that vet to track number 22 car. Let's see what kind of speeds we're running here. 207 right now. As that diffuser bottoms out on the 6th. I'm assuming this car is probably hitting 9,000 RPMs. Oh, and caution. We got caution on the track for the first time. As issues for Tommy Rogers, who has spun and has collected Andrew Moore, it looks like, unfortunately. Andrew trying to lay a burnout down to get going. He's got to watch out for other cars, but the caution comes out. Not sure if Tommy had trouble maybe on the apron or something like that, but first caution, lap 9. Let's see what happens to the 34. I see the issues already happening here. Looks like Andrew Moore actually got turned. See if we can get a better angle from this. Got the crash cam here. Andrew on the inside of Jacob Bowen in the 69 car. Oh, right there, 25 got out of shape, and then the 69 and 11 touch to 12 gets involved, the 47. And unfortunately, 34 with a T-bone stake on the High Spirits Racing car. And unfortunately, no high spirits on that 77 right now. But one thing I did not see a lot of damage on any of those cars. And Dylan Picklesimmer has gone to pit road with the damage on the 12. Right here from the helmet cam. There's the contact there. More contact. I mean, they were hitting and hammering each other, and unfortunately, Andrew ends up in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right, so will we see the leaders come to pit road here? We got 9 laps to go before the end of stage 1. This might be a good opportunity for one car to absolutely start throwing debris everywhere and blinking out. And let's see, Joe Wells hangs a right. And looks like everybody's going to come to pit road here. Except for Roger, who stays out. And it looks like Quentin Clark has stayed out. That's always good to know. There's the view for you. I'm like, wait, I don't have a view of pit road? And Travis Gilbert going to win the race off pit road. Looks like fuel only for a lot of these cars. Roger Rios Matias leading. Let's talk to him here for a second. I think RM's in here, and the High Spirits team down here with Andrew Moore and Clinton Clark. Let's get a word with Roger here real quick. Roger, you get a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. So, obviously, congratulations on the pole to start with. Good to see you, obviously, out here in the series again. As I know you and I have kind of known each other off and on, racing in the series and stuff like that. But got to be excited to get a pole and get out here and lead some laps early.
Yeah, it's a better fortune this race than all the other ones.
Well, talk about the racing. I mean, Monza's always tricky. You know how Scott and Lauren, those guys can be very creative with their races and stuff. What's your expectations here tonight? And so far, what have you felt?
But this car is a lot more stable than the truck was, so it shouldn't be as chaotic as the first race.
Makes a lot of sense to me, man. Well, obviously, congratulations on the pole. You got Superior Templating, as always, hanging around the series. Cool to see them on your car. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about them a little more, talk about you a little more, and get you in victory lane. How's that?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. You too, buddy. Roger Rios Matias, the leader right now in that 21 car, as he started on the pole here tonight. And another quick little shout out to Vivid EV for sponsoring the pole award this evening. So found out from Lauren that Joe is actually just north of the Fort Myers area, which gulp obviously is in the line of this storm. And they obviously had just felt the wrath of, was it Irma, I think, last year, that came across the state of Florida there in that area, and a lot of other hurricanes that have went through that area. So obviously all the best for Joe and his family and every family that is going to be a victim of this storm come likely, Thursday evening, I think they're talking about now. And, obviously we hope for the best. My mom and brother and all my family's down in on the east coast of Florida. If you look at the map, you see Tampa. You look directly east, you see Vero Beach. That's where my family's from and where I'm from. And, my mom is moved to another location. Brother and them, he's a little more stubborn. So he's going to ride it out and see what happens. But needless to say, this storm's going to be one of those that is going to be so big that there's always going to be a piece of the storm over water. And that part kind of scares me a little bit, because water is a storm's best friend when it comes to being a hurricane. All right, so pace car lights are off. We're going green this time by. And remember, single file restarts. And of course, in the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing, you cannot change lanes until you pass the start finish line. So note that as we come to this restart, because everybody's going to have to stay single file until you get to the start finish line. And the leader must go on green. So there's no restart zone. So the leader going on green, and you cannot go to the inside or whatever lane you want to go to here for the restart. You have to stay right in your lane until you cross the start finish line. So could play an advantage to the leader, could play an advantage to somebody else later on in this race, could cause a checkup, but the chances are a little more likely to stay green with this kind of restart than side by side, kind of like the Chicago race in the rain. Fully understandable why they're doing this. Here we go. Green flag. Roger Rios Matias leads to 42 across the line, and from here they can switch lanes. As the 22 of Travis Gilbert looking inside of Quentin Clark there in the 42. Joe Wells there with him. James Hudson. All these guys right here, as we got 6 laps to go before the end of stage 1. As these cars wound up and get up to speed. They can round up too if they want to. Front 10, 11 cars here in this lead draft as the field kind of spreads out. Those joining us on the stream tonight, you're not seeing things backwards. I was kind of making some jokes with these guys in Discord today. I said, hey, to get ready for tonight's race, I actually watched the race a couple weeks ago backwards. Which is a joke, because it's hard to watch a race backwards, per se. A couple cars kissing the wall going to the corner. I saw some damage on the 47. Also, Brian Hayes in the nose there, so see if that affects his car any. Andrew Moore back on pit road. Looks like some more issues for the 77 ride. We ride with Jason Branch That 47 got a little Captain eSports Network on, I just noticed. Nice. I like the paint on Brian Hayes there. Little stars and stripes. Good look, good feel. I like it. Well, he just scraped up the left side of that logo, but it's okay. The R&R Racing team there, as you see, get out here in the straightaway, and that's when you open up into the path. Oh, and one car way off the pace there. Al Likens. And he is going straight Tony Hawk right now, turn 1. And now he's really in trouble. And caution's going to come out. Other car involved there is, well, that 47 car we just spoke of. Brian Hayes, they do have a reset to use to be able to do that if they need, but caution comes out for the second time. And I did not see what slowed Al Likens up, other than I can only wonder, did he clip the outside wall going into turn 1? We're going to find out right now as Likens' car, unfortunately, is broken there. I see the car involved there. Look like maybe Scott Wise. I can only wonder here if that's exactly what happened here. Let's see. We're going to come down the straightaway here. And there is one little portion here where the wall does poke out at you. It's where the road course separates from the speedway part, right up here. And let's see if Likens catches a piece right here. Whoop, right there. Sure does. And it instantly stopped his car. 47 heavy damage. 14 with some damage. And Scott Wise is going to come in here. Look at the left rear broken on that car, and Wise just clobbers the 25. And another car goes spinning. You got to be very careful here because you can't see around the corner. Can't help but wonder. Let's go on board with a car here. What is it like to hit a car right, almost directly head first into the wall from the left side here? You almost get impaled. This is actually Gilbert we're on board with. Let me get back to... There we go. Bam! And you didn't even see it coming. And you can see the other cars piling behind. And you're going to see Scott Wise coming in here pretty hot. Yikes! Caution waving here for the second time as leaders have come to pit road, and Jacob Bowen gonna inherit the lead here off of pit, or I should say with pit stops happening. And the reason why he is doing this is because next time by will be lap number 18, and all he has to do then is get to the start finish line. And the stage will end. A little different here than, say, real life NASCAR, where, you know, basically whatever lap that the stage is on, that's what lap it ends on. And no matter what the situation is, the green could come out, the caution could still be out, or whatever it is. When that lap is completed, that's the end of the stage. There's no extended caution until the stage is over or whatever, and that kind of thing. So Bowen, Ryan Wilson, Dusty White, the top three, those guys stay out. Roger Rios, Matias, Travis Gilbert, Joe Welsh, Jason Branch, Quentin Clark, AJ Condon, and Shane Ward will get bonus points here in stage number 1. As long as they can get back to the restart here, which will come next lap. So we don't get a chance normally to talk to a stage winner and that kind of thing because we're under green, but let's talk to the driver that is one lap away from not only getting the green flag, but getting a stage win here. And that being the... Oh, I misread. Stage is into 15. I'm getting the 8 mixed up, so stage actually ended at lap 15, not 17. My bad. Whoops. Now let's go back to lap 15 real quick. And, see how this all went down. I got my 15s and 38s mixed up. Lauren's staying on top of me tonight. I like it. She's keeping me on top of all the information. So it was actually the caution at the end of lap 15 here. That's going to come out, and the question obviously then is who's the leader crossing the start-finish line? Well, they got to catch the pace car here. So obviously Roger Rios Matias then would have been the stage 1 winner. So now that we got that confusion out of the way, Roger Rios Matias going to score the Wise Guy iRacing Stage Winner Award. I promise I'll get my wits about me here. We'll be good. So congratulations to Roger on that. And thanks to Wise Guy iRacing Graphics for sponsoring the stage winner. 10 points for Roger. This is where Lauren becomes a good admin. She's probably yelling at Scott about something. She's yelling at me about something. Yelling at drivers about something. Meanwhile, deep down inside, we all know Lauren's laughing. All right, Jacob Bowen going to lead him to the green here. Lap number 18 in stage 2. Going to go green. A little bit laying back here on Ryan Wilson here, trying to get a good restart. Unfortunately, does not. Dusty White, Roger Rios Matias, and Travis Gilbert, your top 5. And thank you, viewers, for hanging out here tonight on this Tuesday evening. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream and enjoy the race. As always, you can hit that subscribe button to be a part of the Captain Esports Network, get notifications and more. Not to mention, you can check out the Captain Esports Network shop down below. That has all of your racing gear on there for the Captain Esports Network and a couple other t-shirts from blinking to ARCA braking and so much more. Great stuff there at the Captain Esports Network store. You can click on the race information down below so you see that. Also a link on there for the American Red Cross too if you guys want to help donate to those in need after the storm, after Helene hitting the Florida, Georgia, North Carolina area, and Tennessee in these last week. You can help out those people by donating to the American Red Cross. And obviously you can get ahead of it here with the Hurricane Milton that looks like it's heading beeline towards Florida. That's going to be a pretty devastating storm, one of the strongest potentially in U.S. history. So help out and donate to the American Red Cross. So Travis Gilbert leads. Roger Rios, Matias second. Joe Wells, Quentin Clark, Jacob Bowen now has fallen to 5th. These guys have done a phenomenal job here. We got, looks like 6 cars, a couple, 1 or 2 laps down. Nobody's off the track here all the way. Tim Shiflett, Dylan Picklesimmer, Stephen Melnick, Andrew Moore, Scott Wise, and Al Likens all a lap or 2 down. Moore, Wise, and Likens are actually 2 laps down at the moment because of accident damage and so on and so forth. So 17 cars on the lead lap as we work through turn 3 and 4. The Autodromo Nacional de Monza. A night that you want to have pasta for dinner. Oh, a little door bang in there. The 69 and 5 coming together. A little pasta, a little lasagna, a little fettuccine. Thank God my father-in-law is not watching right now. He'd probably be threatening me. You got a guy born in New York. You got a guy that is listening to his son-in-law, who's not from New York and doesn't have an Italian accent, trying to say those kind of words. And advice that I can give everybody right now when it comes to Italian people. They're wonderful people, awesome people. But don't ever ask an Italian person if they use ragu to cook their food, especially pasta. You will likely not be found again. Facts. There's your lesson tonight for life. Oh, and around goes a couple cars here. And that's going to bring the caution out for the third time. Trying to see more cars. Oh, this is a bigger wreck than I thought. Jason Branch. Al Lyken's involved. There goes the 303 car piling in. The 12's involved. And did the 12 just... Did we just have a hood slap? I've never seen... Oh, and here comes this guy in hot. Did we just see a car slap another car with its hood? But Lyken's involved. You see Branch, all these cars trying to get the car turned around. Put the caution out here for the third time. Dylan Pickle simmered some heavy damage on that car. Krishan Elliott also involved. Dusty White, as there go the leaders soaring by. As we still got carnage over here in the corner. I'm pretty sure whoever... Is that the... who that was, but pretty sure, I think it was Dusty White, found a unique... That car's tumbling. Let's get all this again, because I'm pretty sure Dusty White found a unique way of entering turn 1, and I don't think it's the right way. Over the hill and through the woods. He's going to grandmother's house, apparently. Tries to get out of everybody's way. He gets clipped by Branch. Everybody wrecks. That car there violently turns over multiple times. And that wreck was pretty physical there. Let's Oh, did Dusty get helped? Let's see if we can get a better view of this. But it looks like Dusty might have had a little help here from the 42. Let's see. Oh yeah, clippage. Almost got that inside barrel. Unfortunately, tries to get back on track and Branch gets him. I'm trying to see if that Shiflett in the 54, who that was that... And then watch the 12 car. He's going to roll up here on the 11. And watch the hood. Walk up there and... like a hood smack. What in the world is that? What's up with Monza bringing the weird stuff? First we got fenders flying 100 feet in the air. Now we got hood smacking other drivers. Oh. Alright, so I think it was Derek Jacobs, by the way, who went for this wild flip. Let's see if I'm right. So there's the wreck. Okay, it was not Derek. That's who it was. It was Daryl Johnson who went for the ride. Let's go on board with Daryl here, and well, this ought to be interesting. I mean, that was... I mean, the car hopped over the hill, and then as soon as it gripped onto the asphalt, I mean, that thing just violently turned over real quick. right, so obviously plenty of cars with some heavy damage here, or a couple laps down either way. And let's talk with another driver here. Let's see. Actually, let's not. Let's talk about 40 Racewear. Because 40 Racewear, of course, sponsoring the Captain eSports Network. If you're looking for some shoes and gloves to enhance your performance on the racetrack, check out 40 Racewear today. Their shoes, very comfortable. Their gloves, very comfortable. A lot of friends that I know drive with the gloves and shoes and stuff from 40 Racewear, and you can too. Check out 40racewear.com to get your set of gloves and shoes and be able to feel like that driver as you sit in your cockpit ready to go. Don't have to worry about the socks. I mean, how many of us have scratched our feet on our metal pedals? If you got, like, I have the old G27, but if you got a 29 or a, you know, one of those newer wheels and the more high-tech wheels with the metal pedals, you don't have to scratch your feet anymore. You can have shoes on and not have to worry about any kind of lacerations or cuts or scratches on your feet. All right, going to be coming to 1 to green this time by. And let's talk with the 23 car of Ryan Wilson here. Ryan, of course, was up there in the top.
Oh, it wasn't his own fruition.
What are we talking about?
Hey, what's going on, Chrissy?
Chrissy, who's that? Hey, it's my cousin.
Oh.
That's actually a true story. But anyways, Ryan Wilson with us says, Ryan, you ran up there in the top 5 a little bit ago, and it's always funny to catch people mid-conversation, but you got this 23 car out here with Vet the Track on it, obviously talking about the racing so far and how you are doing your best to stay out of trouble.
Man, they're real aggressive, and they're putting her in there a little bit harder than what I want to right now. But you know, if I can just hang on to the back of them, ride, and let them do their business, I hope to be up there at the end.
And obviously, you've been fighting pretty hard to stay up there at the front, and now obviously mid-pack right here. So as we get ready to go green, you got 11 laps before the end of stage 2. Is this one that you want to try to get up there in this top 10 and top 5 to fight, or would you rather be there at 75 than 38?
I'd kind of rather be there at 75. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself, I'd love to get me and Derek up there. I got him around me to maybe try to work with, and you know, if it happens, I'll take it. But man, I'm sure looking for that first place.
That would be nice.
At the end.
Side question here: how come there's 20 other Ryan Wilsons in this channel if you're number 21?
I don't know. It just took the Lord 21 times to make it right, I guess.
Oh, geez.
Make it perfect.
It's like you've practiced that answer. Oh, man. Best of luck, bud.
Hey, thank you, man.
Absolutely, you too. As Ryan Wilson with a perfectly prepared answer for me as I asked him that question. I've never thought of it that way. All right, going to come to the green. And speaking of the 21, Roger Rios Matias in the 21, leading Quentin Clark, his teammate there, or at least they're in the same channel hanging out. Travis Gilbert third, Joe Wells, and James Hudson, who's had a great run up in the top 5 here early as we get closer and closer to lap 30 as we have the first, 10 laps or so caution-free, and we've had a few other cautions here in the last 15 or so laps. But some fantastic green flag racing. As pace car going to hang her right here, pull off the track. Dylan Pickle, Simmer, Jason Branch, Scott Wise, and Andrew Moore all off the track. As we come to the green at lap 28. Everybody pretty solid into turn 1. Cars crank up the speed to 200, almost 210 miles an hour in a draft. Roger Rios Matias talking about these cars being a lot more stable as they run in the draft and able to be more stable out there on the track. There's all their downforce coming to the bottom of the car with the diffuser and stuff. As we go up here to second, as Quentin Clark under attack, as here comes the 22 of Travis Gilbert. A little bit of door banging going on, more door banging. We'll trade into the paint there. And of course, as you go through the corner, you got to be very careful because it's very tight. That draft is going to go soaring by Gilbert there. He's going to lose third. He's going to lose fourth likely and get back in line in the fifth position here. And you got to wonder if Condon's going to get a run to his inside here for fifth. He does not. As Roger Rios Matias continuing to pace the field with that 42 stuck on his bumper and popping out. Here comes Gilbert again. Gilbert showing that aggressive side tonight, wanting to make moves, and this time he shuffles the 6. Off that top side, a little side draft there from the 6. As Hudson trying to hold on to the 4th position there, clips the apron. And good stuff here as the top 5 fights it out. As cars, a little contact there, one going to the grass, a little defensive move there as Wells, was that a little bit of a block to his teammate? That's interesting, if that's what I just saw. Jacob Bowen just run the fastest lap of the race, 45.78. A little shy of 200 miles an hour in his next-gen car. And 8 laps to go in stage number 2. Second pack of cars way back here is Ryan Wilson out here running by himself. There's Krishan Elliott. He's got Brian Hayes behind him, who's just used a reset on his car. Of course, Tommy Rogers and Daryl Johnson, Stephen Melnick back here. And then Tim Shiflett's up here in this lead pack right now. He is unfortunately a lap down in 16th, and then Derek Jacobs is out here just trying to get a lap back himself. As it's becoming the race more to survive. And the thing about it with these guys running single file like they are, you know, it's helping Roger lead laps, and of course having Quentin there behind him has got to be helping him being able to maintain that track position, as nobody's been able to get a run around him. Which is the $1 million question you got to ask: how do you get a run on him at this track? Because you're coming out of a tight corner, you got to be able to gain the speed and the momentum in this car, and by the time you do that, you're back in turn 1 already. I mean, you could see Joe Wells here maybe give a bump to the 22 down the straightaway here, maybe try to send him as the 42 pulls them along here into the corner, but I think they're too far back right now. This might be more of a move to turn 1. As we ride with the McDonald's number 3 in front of, or behind that vet the track number 22 car. Let's see how this goes right here. Obviously the 42 and 21 playing a little defensive here. Good job of these guys in the track awareness. Obviously, the 42 is actually going to go to the lead here. Had such a good run on the top side. Going to allow him to go past Roger for the lead, so the 21 is going to fall back at least 3 or 4 spots here. I mean, this might be where Gilbert and Wells pounce here and get their G Lightning cars up there in the front. This is very interesting to see. It's a different way of super speedway racing here. And a Lap times are falling off a little bit, so you're seeing handling kind of come into play. Shane Ward at the back of this track, or at the back of the pack, and then there's Sam Taylor and Ryan Wilson is they trying to get caught up. I'm sorry, that is not Ryan Wilson. That is Tim Shiflett, the lap car, who is trying to get Taylor up there to end this battle, but they have fallen off the lead pack here. Wilson back here on his own. And he's got Brian Hayes, Krishan Elliott, and others here that have come together into almost like a second pack right now as they try to get up here with the leaders, as they're going to battle for that final spot here in just a moment, as we got 3 laps to go in the stage. Next week, the first season trip to Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Vet2Track Masters of the Draft Series. It'll be a fun one in this next-gen car to check out. You can do so here on the Captain Esports Network starting at 8:15 Eastern Time, as long as everything cooperates. Oh, and around goes the leader! And more cars involved. And that'll likely end the stage. The 6, the 42, the 22 involved. And Joe Wells going to take advantage and likely take the stage win here. Depending on if they come to pit road or not, because they're going to catch the face guard and likely have pit stops open here. James Hudson also involved. Let's take a look at the replay here. Down the straightaway, you see the cars kind of spreading out here a little bit, and all the 42 and the 22 come together. The 6 ends up getting involved and barely misses that outside wall. Well, and then he clips that part of the wall. That's going to leave a mark. Watch again here is, did the 3 get into the 22? The 5 also of Condon getting involved. 6 gets almost impaled by the Armco barrier. Let's hit the stop button here for a second. Let's go to Gilbert. And let's see if Joe Wells made contact. There's contact. And as I look up here at the screen, all of a sudden Travis Gilbert is the leader of this race. Did it credit him with... He's going to stay out here. He's going to get the stage win here. So, an interesting twist of events here, as Travis Gilbert's going to be the stage winner of stage 2, presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. Joe Wells second, Jacob Bowen third, and good luck Lauren from 3rd to 10th, because everybody's on pit road behind there, or 4th to 10th. And while these guys pit, how did the 22 end up with the lead back here? So what I'm seeing, okay, just from that view right there, the 22 never spins, really. All he does is push the 42 around the track, or around, I should say. Keeps his car straight and never really spins it out. So iRacing must have looked at that as he stayed above speed and handed him the lead back. That's what I'm getting out of this. Very interesting call. You know, statute of limitations in play here, but I once won a race in this series back at Daytona under the old name. It's kind of a similar situation like this. Alrighty then. The caution out as Gilbert gets a stage win. And we crossed the halfway point in this just shy of 200 miler. Now, again, depending on how it's all scored, Roger Rios Matias is 4th, Shane Ward 5th, Quentin Clark ends up 6th, Sam Taylor, Ryan Wilson, AJ Condon, Stephen Melnick going to be your top 10 as they come to the restart. Now, that's not necessarily how they got, or if they got bonus points for those positions. For how the stage ended, but we'll have to see potentially after the race or whatnot how that's all setup and stuff going forward. All right, going to come to the green. And there will be 35 laps to go. Here we go. Travis Gilbert, Joe Wells, Jacob Bowen, Roger Rios, Matias, Shane Ward, your top 5. With 35 laps to go. And what has been a pretty wild Monza race as expected. Cars moving the inside here. I believe that's Rios Matias, maybe that was trying to get to the inside there. I'm not sure. Obviously, the camera angles aren't the best tonight. This is the iRacing cameras, by the way. I know I always credit the great team at TrackCams for Gourmet for what they do, TrackCams22.com. There's always the presenting sponsor of the cameras. Sometimes they don't always have their cameras. And this is one of those nights where, unfortunately, they don't have a Monza right-hand turn camera. As the battle up front getting tighter, you see the 42 pushing that 21, trying to get them back to the front. As here comes Joe Wells, the Stage 1 winner, looking to the inside of his teammate Gilbert. Gilbert's got the 69 back there behind him pushing. 21 of Rios Matias pushing the 3. It just seems like that outside line just gets that strong run. Off the banking, obviously, and then when you got somebody pushing, you know, allows you to carry that speed. As you see the final turn at the Monza road course as they come off of turn 4 down the front straightaway here. See what this track looks like. Obviously, it has been 50 years almost since this track has last been raced on. It was one that was, I know, requested. A lot of people wanted to see it on iRacing. They got their wish, and every week it comes up on an official session. I think people are like, should have been careful what we asked for here. Appreciate all the viewers hanging out here this evening. If you're joining the stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out and joining the Captain eSports Network. Wells now with Gilbert there behind him. More teammates up there in the front working together. Of course, 21 and 42 were working pretty well together before that caution came out. As you see cars kind of move around a little bit, just trying to find that run or that draft. Is over 208 miles an hour into turn 1 as Gilbert scrapes the wall up a little bit. Right with Bowen here into turn 3. Gets it out outside, almost made contact with the 39 award. Good run here for the driver of the 69 car. He's going to make a little contact there with the 42 as they're almost 3 wide. He almost gets the outside wall, and they are wrecking into turn 1. No caution. Now it's out. Caution out. A couple cars grenading. Ryan Wilson maybe with some damage. Tommy Rogers into 34 with some heavy damage. PPG car, that is Pickle Simmer in a 12. He is beaten up pretty well. And second caution. Some people, their second car that has been destroyed. What took place here. It all started with the 69 car, Bowen. He had such a good run down the front straightaway. He took it 3 wide. And that 3 wide kind of shrunk up a little bit. There's that little bit of a curve going to turn 1 because you got to kind of dive away from the road course and head for the oval. Watch here, you're going to see Bowen make the move. Must have been this lap. Be coming up right here. Look at the run Bowen gets here down the straightaway. He's going to go 3 wide with it. And you're going to see right here, you got to kind of go back to the right here. And there's where the 42 and the 5 make contact. 42 goes through some trees, ramping into the wall with the 5. And collects other cars. That was actually a pretty big lift for these guys here. Let's ride with the 5. So he went wee. Here comes the run from Bowen. You see him right there, front straightaway. He gets to the outside of the 42 and the 5, and obviously everybody's trying to merge together here, and there's the contact, and look at this. Takes out a couple of trees, ramps it in. I mean, 42 ends up on top of him. Caution out. I'm going to mute my mic for just a second. All right, back we are here at the Captain eSports Network. Appreciate everybody for joining us here at Monza. The right-hand turns only here tonight. You're not seeing things backwards. It is the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing here at Monza for race number 2 of this Vet to Track Masters of the Draft. In the Gen 7 Series, race 2. It's race 6 overall. As for those just joining us tonight, let's take a peek at the schedule here of how it all lines up. Again, next week we go to Atlanta Motor Speedway and run some super speedway drafting on the hybrid Atlanta track for 162 laps, and it's Talladega to finish out the Gen 7 campaign, which will be the month of October, and then we'll come back after a couple weeks off and run Daytona in the 87s. It's going to be interesting, a swap over from the newest car to the oldest car, basically, when it comes to the stock car racing. In just a couple of weeks, should be very interesting. All right, going to come back to the green. Roger Rios Matias back up front. He has led the most laps here tonight, and he wants to try to finish this off as he leads at lap number 49. Green flag out. As quickly up through the gears. He and Travis Gilbert, Joe Wells, Quentin Clark, Stephen Melnick up to the top 5 after being involved in an accident on lap 1. No caution came out for that, but he had to get the car worked on, and has since come out, and he now leads this race. Top 9 cars have broken away from this lead pack. Ryan Hayes in the 10th position, battling back after being involved in an accident. Ryan Wilson, Tim Shiflett back there, Derek Jacobs, as we have 13 cars on the lead lap. As a couple cars coming to pit road there, that is James Hudson. Could be a penalty there, potentially a lane change maybe on the restart, didn't see it. Let's see as he came to pit road. Let's review and see, did we have a lane change on the 6? I didn't see anything there, but let's look again here. Looks like everybody's good there, so if anything, it must have been something else maybe that has brought him to pit road. Roger's been making it look easy here tonight, the way he's been leading this pack, but it's been far from easy. Turning right in a car that's a left-handed driver, and then you got a pack of cars there behind you looking to just make moves or whatever they can do to get around you. But Roger's been able to hold his composure the whole entire time and keep the lead as we got a battle back here now, as Bowen has gone to the outside of Melnick for 5th. Steven battles him. He's got the 34 Tommy Rogers into the battle. Krishan Elliott up here for the first time tonight in that 14 car. He's been involved in some accidents tonight. And of course, Shane Ward, as I mentioned earlier, celebrated a birthday this past week. All these guys right up here in his top 9. There's 22 laps to go to the start-finish line right there before the white and red arrow marks that you see in the wall that separate the road course here at Monza from the Super Speedway edition. Ryan with Quentin Clark here, 8,300 RPMs. 8,300, yeah, it's mentioned RPM. 5th gear, around 200 miles an hour, so plenty of room. Obviously, is I believe 8,800 is the max in these next-gen cars. You see Bowen in the 69 go topside on the 42. Both cars holding their grip here through the corner. That opens the doors. Now Melnick trying to make a move into 1. But unfortunately, the 42 gets pulled along, and the 1 got to fall back in line here. All about being patient here and taking the runs as you get them and trying to make the best of them. You see Clark get the run on the 69, or the 69 car, but he's going to fall back in line. Surprised that didn't give Melnick or Rogers a run. Down to turn 1 here, 20 laps to go this time by. back straight away. Want to give a shout out to my buddy Mark at MC Racing in downtown Fort Wayne. Always watching the streams up there on his TVs as people come in and do some sim racing themselves. And a big thank you to Mark, who always is supporting the Captain eSports Network and try to do whatever we can to support him. Obviously, not every visitor or not every viewer that watches the stream lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yes, we're all over the place and stuff, so the only thing I do is to offer and say, hey, if you ever come to the area, make sure you go check out MC Racing in downtown. And always know you're appreciated. Winchester 400 coming up, I believe, this weekend. If you're not doing anything, right there, an hour up the road. Just saying. As you can stop into MC Racing and do a little sim racing yourself. Roger Rios Matias, lap 19, leading this race. They all came to pit road for the most part at lap 47 to 48. Am I honestly about to start talking pit stops potentially in this series with this track? As we're about to hit 10 laps in this run. You gotta wonder, without the super speedway taper spacer that's on this car now, you know, how much fuel does this car burn off in a lap? Top five now within a tenth of each other, and then Melnick's starting to fall off a little bit here. Half second back. Rogers doing a good job there behind the one. And Rashawn Elliott just trying to hold on with everything he can here as we ride with the 14. Speaking of Fort Wayne, this driver right here out of the Fort Wayne area. It's right up the road for me here, about a couple miles. You see the leaders that come back together. The disadvantage for Elliott right now is the fact that this car doesn't do well running with no one behind you. So he is literally going to fall off likely this pack because of the drag in this car. He'll try to hold on here, but looks like it's slowly starting to fade out of it now. And still up front is Roger Rios Matias. Of course, this track was built all the way back years ago. 1922 to be exact. Has hosted racing with the exception of 1980 when the track was undergoing refurbishment. Of course, has hosted the Italian Grand Prix since 1949. It's known as the Temple of Speed. The track built on Royal Villa of Monza. It's a park in a woodland setting. Had 3 different tracks at the time. Of course, the main road course, the junior track, and then the high-speed oval, which is 2.641 miles. That track, unfortunately, left unused for a long time until it was restored in the 2010s. And I mentioned the fastest lap in F1 history. I believe it was it Montoya that ran that lap here a few years ago. As we come to 13 laps to go. So 1954, work began to pretty much revamp the whole entire circuit into the current high-speed oval that you're seeing today. The Automobile Club of Italy held a 500-mile, 800-kilometer race of two worlds exhibition, which put the IndyCar drivers against the European F1 drivers in sports car. It was held in on the oval in June of '57 and June of '58. Had 3 63-lap heat races, as was known as the Monza Appalus Series. Unfortunately, that did not last long. So, interesting stat there. You learn something every night, right? Coming to 12 laps to go. Now down to 11 as Gilbert just continues to push Roger along. You wonder if these guys are going to ride here and get to the finish of this race, but you can't help but wonder here, the fuel mileage. I have no clue how long they can go on fuel, but obviously this is the longest green flag run. We're at 17 laps since that pit stop, and with what is it, if I remember correctly, 80% fuel. There could be some pit stops coming in the very near future here. Lap car of Condon pulls out of the way. John Elliott's fallen all the way back to 11 seconds behind. Ryan Wilson and others have now caught the 14 car, and they're going to try to go around them here. As this pack of 6 or 7 cars here are going to try to hawk down the leaders. And it's going to be very tricky as they're side by side here. Oh, little contact there. One car out in the grass saves it. Could have been a lot worse than it was. And it's got some cars towards the back coming to pit road. So this might be the start of pit stops here. As we're at 9 laps to go. Who's going to have the right call to potentially go to victory lane in this race? Thanks for the heads up there, Lauren. Not sure what happened. Maybe it was one of those moments where I just got quiet for a second. Who knows? But he was updating me at the 54 was off the pace at one point here, apparently in the race, Shiflet. But we continue on. That was 20 minutes ago. Okay. But nonetheless, a lot better of a race than we saw here a few weeks ago, where we had cautions almost every 3 to 4 laps. It seemed like, and of course I had made the joke to Scott trying to be the positive guy, and I don't blame him, man. Obviously it was a tough situation. He's trying to be positive, and I made the joke of, I'm about to find something to watch on TV during the race here so I can highlight it. Might throw some Bluey on or something like that. But now these guys have done a great job in all seriousness. Not many cautions at all. Clean racing. A couple of issues, which I think that's led to be expected. But everybody's done a great job here this evening, as we're at 7 laps to go. Who makes the first move up front here? And we're already starting to see it. Melnick peeking to the low side here. And I think for those guys at the bottom half of the top 3 or 4, they're probably got to make a move earlier than you would think. Usually you can go 2 or 3 laps and maybe make the move and get yourself to the front, but with the way this draft package is working, I think if you're Melnick and those guys, you need to try to start getting these runs now and see what you can get out of it. They work their way through 3 or make that 1 and 2. 6 to go again next week, Atlanta Motor Speedway. We hope you can join us for that at 8:15 Eastern Time. We'll have another broadcast tomorrow night from Eldora on dirt. A little dirt race for you tomorrow night. Should be some fun there. And Thursday night, one last league race for the week. As per usual, been doing the 4 nights a week with the 3 weekend days and getting back into rhythm here as we go. 5 to go as Roger continues to lead. He has been a dominator. He's led the most laps by far. Probably close to 50 laps, if not more, right now. Follow him. He is the Pied Piper. As bottom side, Roger loses the lead. As I say that, Travis Gilbert goes to the top side with Joe Wells and takes the lead away as they come to 4 laps to go. Gilbert, the winner of this Monza race on the left-hand corners just a couple weeks ago, looking to pull out the Bromare at both Monza races so far. Of course, we do have one more trip, I believe, coming back to Monza, and that's later on in the year. A great start so far here for Gilbert. The question, can he finish it off? Down the back straightaway to turn 3. Wells giving him that push. You see Roger Rios Matias back up to 3rd. He's got Quentin Clark, his teammate, pushing him. Might become a tandem race here. Who knows? Three laps to go. We get our first repeat winner of the Vet the Track Masters of the Draft Series. Will we get another new winner? We're 5 for 5 so far in the new wins category. And the front 2 have been in victory lane this season. Question is, can they do it again? As they come off turn 4, no lap cars in the way at all right now. 2 laps to go. Front 7, 14 seconds now over Ryan Wilson, Brian Hayes, and Krishan Elliott. So those guys, unfortunately, are going to need a la 1979 Richard Petty spin to win this race. Basically, Donnie Allison, Bobby Allison getting together, the whole fight in the infield. And when that all broke out, Richard Petty was in turn 1, running 4th, and he ended up winning that race. As here we go, 6 cars underneath a blanket. Who makes the first move? Right there, 21 looks low, going to bring a 42 with him as they see the white flag. Final lap. 21 not able to complete the pass as Rios Matias looking low. With help from Quentin Clark, it's a good push down the straightaway here as the 69 push into 3. Will anybody get a run on Travis Gilbert? He and Joe Wells work together to grab first and second from Rios Matias and Quentin Clark, and Travis Gilbert is going to become a 2-time winner at Monza this season. as well as Rios, Matias, and Bowen. And Quentin Clark, your top 5. Congratulations, Travis. Going to be very happy with the win there, and obviously becoming the first 2-time winner on the season this campaign. I'm sure Wells will be happy pushing that vet to track number 22 to victory lane. As they'll do a little team photo here. And we'll run through the finishing order really quickly and see if we get a little bit of a celebration out of the 22 as Gilbert wins it by 7/100ths over Joe Wells. Roger Rios Matias 3rd. Jacob Bowen, Quentin Clark, your top 5. Tommy Rogers 6th. Stephen Melnick, Ryan Wilson. Brian Hayes gets himself a top 9 finish. Good job on his part. And 10th place going to Krishan Elliott. Shane Ward 11th. Tim Shiflett 12th. Derek Jacobs 13th. James Hudson 14th. And Sam Taylor with a 15th place finish. The rest of your finishing order: 16th to Al Likens, Dusty White 17th, Jason Branch 18th, Scott Wise and Dylan Picklesimmer your top 20, AJ Condon, Andrew Moore, Daryl Johnson, your 23 finishers here as we turned right tonight at Monza. And Gilbert going to do a Polish victory lap here. As he does that, we'll talk to our top 3 drivers here tonight. As our 3rd place finisher, Roger Rios Matias, as Roger, so close, man, dominated, led the most laps here this evening, and then obviously Travis and Joe made a pretty good run at you there and left you in a pretty tough spot there, but still a great run for you.
Yeah, it's not bad. Kind of did that to myself, to be honest.
Was that one of those just leaving the top side open?
Yeah, I should have stayed up there.
Let's
Trying to
talk-
get Quentin.
Go ahead.
Trying to get with Quentin, but they were locked up all race. There's nothing we can do.
Is that something, obviously, you look back at and my man, I should have done this different looking at it here, or is it tough to say the way where Clinton was compared to those other 2?
Well, yeah, I don't think Joe was going to go for the win. So without him trying to make a move, kind of stuck in 3rd or 4th after that.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, hey, great job tonight, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
High spirits, my teammates, all you guys for helping run the league. Just everyone in it. Good race tonight.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight. You definitely led plenty of laps here, so good job.
Thank you.
You too. Roger Rios Matias, of course, in the Superior Templating number 21. We'll be giving away the Hard Charge Award here in just a little bit. We'll find out who gets that momentarily. But first, we're going to cue the call.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. Joe Wells finishing in the 2nd position tonight, as you guys were running about as fast as half the state of Florida needs to be running probably right now. But needless to say, in all seriousness, though, obviously, a great effort tonight here in Monza. You and Travis working very well. Roger said that he kind of made a little bit of a mistake, but sometimes you got to take advantage and get that run to the top side, which seemed to be the only way to pass, and it was not easy to get up there, but you made it work and finished 2nd.
Yeah, man, it's good to be talking to you again. I think it seems to be a trend of me being
Seems
up here
good.
in the booth after the race. But yeah, no, it's the outside's definitely the line to go for. You can't make the pass on the inside. It's just not going to happen. Our strategy there at the end is we knew we were going to be really close on fuel, so we assumed Roger would likely be in the same situation. So Travis and I's goal there was let Roger lead all those laps and burn some fuel off while we saved, and hope he made a mistake. And once he went a little bit inside and Travis was able to get his nose up there, I knew it was pretty much game over at that point. And then coming to that the last lap, yeah, I had such a run on Travis, and I promised him I was not going anywhere. I was sticking to his bumper and getting us that 1-2. So I ended up giving a nice little kiss there at the end, and that pretty much secured it for us.
Obviously worked out for you there very well. Talk about the night and day race here. Obviously the race we had back a couple weeks ago on the left-hander, and tonight's race, obviously, I mean, just so different.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it, I mean, I said it before the race started in the interview then, that I think this car, I don't know if it's just this car or if other cars, but it actually turns right here fairly fine. I felt like you could actually get passes down here, whereas I guess in the trucks a few weeks ago at Monza, you pretty much just had to shoot the gap and pray. So I think it was a little bit more predictable, which is nice. I think another thing is kind of gotten rid of any bad apples in the league that decided not to decide that Masters of the Draft isn't up for them. So those people not coming back, and then the people sticking around that actually have their head on their shoulders, definitely led to a better race than last time, I'll say.
Wait a minute. So Lauren and Scott missed somebody then?
What do you mean?
I'm still here.
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
Just kidding. Obviously.
You're the golden apple, Chris. You're the golden apple.
Wait a minute. Does that mean I get to go to the candy store? Never mind. All right. So congratulations, and send some shouts if you like to, bud.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Travis, man. Pleasure working with you as always. I think it's pretty evident that him and I are an unstoppable duo. Ooh. So big shout out to Travis. Big shout out to all my GLM drivers. I know Eddie and Brady couldn't make the race tonight, but I'm sure they're watching, so thank you. Shout out Krishan as well. Shout out Shane. Shout out AJ in the GLM team on track as well. Really appreciate you guys and all the hard work that you do. All my friends watching. Big shout out to Bruce at Setman Custom Carts. If you're in the Delaware area and you're looking for a golf cart, you need to go check out my man Bruce at Setman's Custom Carts. So he's a great guy. As always, shout out Vivid EV. Shout out Derek and FrontStretch.com. Had them on the car tonight. Also had Lone Wolf with Jake Allen on the car tonight as well. So big shout out to you guys. And Tom's watching. I know Gio's watching. I know another Joe's watching. Man, I'm probably forgetting somebody and I feel terrible, but I love you guys. I love all of y'all. Thank you again, Chris, for all the work that you're doing up in the booth. Shout out Scott and Lauren as well for putting on this league race. And then just lastly, keep all of us in your prayers as the next day or so we face the Bruce of Milton.
Yeah, you beat me to it there, obviously, but obviously, you know, however your faith is or whatever, turn it all to those people in Florida. I know we've been kind of letting the people in Carolina and Tennessee take it, you know, as they need it as much as anybody right now. But obviously, what could be potentially one of the strongest hurricanes in history to hit the United States coming here in the next 24 hours or so is going to be an interesting storm, to say the least. And all the best to everybody there on the southwest side. I know, I guess you're over near Fort Myers, I've been told. So all the best over there. As you guys, what was it, the storm from last year? I can't remember off the top of my head here as I've gotten really tired. Thank you, Ian. You know, pretty much wiped out one of the islands already over there last year off of Fort Myers and stuff. So it's like the one thing you guys don't need now is more damage and stuff, and so on and so forth. So all the best, Joe. Be safe. And, you know, as always, I'm sure I can speak for everybody here, but at least for me, if you need anything, let us know.
Absolutely, man. Much love. I appreciate everything. As always, praise hell, praise tail, baby.
Absolutely. By the way, you forgot the number on the back.
What?
You supposed to put the number on the back of the car.
Ah, shit.
Hey, there you go, Lauren. That one's for you. All right.
Oh, Lauren, I'm sorry. I swore. Shoot. Whippersnapper, darn. Crap. Dog, hot diggity dang.
All right, Joe Wells no longer the points leader after tonight. Congratulations.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, buddy. Be safe. As Joe Wells finishes in the second position. And, yeah, all the best to him in all seriousness. I'm scared of what this storm's going to do. When I tell my family on the other side of the coast to run, I don't do that often. Speaking of running, Travis Gilbert was running up front all night as he and Joe worked well together. And Travis, you get your second win, become the first multi-time winner this season, and you found a way to do them both at Monza.
Yeah, we go left and right, don't we?
I don't know where to go with that one, but yes, you do that. And what a race it was, night and day. Obviously, as we talked about it, the passing was very tough. Obviously, it looked like the outside lane was like the one way you could complete a pass almost, unless it was just a mistake or something made.
Yeah, absolutely. Bottom's too bumpy. Car definitely going right, around Monza is definitely a lot better than going left. I don't know, just the markings on the racetrack, but also when you go right, it makes it one lane dominant versus when you go left, you can actually race on the bottom. So, I mean, it's interesting how that plays out, but I'm okay with that because it's all about track position game and using your head and setting up the right pass at the right time.
Well, I think also to add to it, this is the more traditional layout of Monza. If you remember the oval track, I brought this up a few times, and I was all right-handers back in the day. So I'm sure that also helped things here this evening. But man, obviously you and Joe working well together, no pun intended. Obviously you had to feel pretty good to have somebody there to have your back, because the 42 and 21 looked like had some great momentum throughout the night.
Yeah, they played great strategy. They played it right with the first stage. Congrats to them running 1-2. Joe and I were pretty content running 3 and 4. We tried to make a move on the bottom, and we're like, it's not worth it to lose them points. So, and then going into stage 2, we got the track position on them, but then they jumped us afterwards. So it was a good little battle. And then Quentin and I got into it listen, we were both stuck on the outside going into turn 1, and neither one of us wanted to be stuck on the outside and get plowed into that outside wall. And honestly, some would say it's dirty tactics, but I believe in the whole Earnhardt mentality: do whatever it takes to win races. If that means put your opponent into a compromising position where they either have to choose to lift and get behind you or careen it into that wall, that's on them. That's racing, man. Earnhardt, he told people he'd wreck his grandma to win races and his mom. So, and I think his grandma was the only one he respected from listening to Dale Jr. podcast. So I understood what was going on. He beat and banged on me because I was trying to do the same thing he was trying to do to me. That's what you do to tough competitors. But overall, it was a great race. Like you said, Joe and I work really well together. The G Lightning Motors, AJ Condon, Keyshawn Elliott, Shane Ward, we all, strategize, talk well, and Joe and I obviously execute really well together. So appreciate him for hanging there with me coming to the end, because if he really wanted to, he could have made a move, and jeopardized us and, whatever. But I appreciate him for being a good teammate.
Well, great job tonight, man. And obviously celebrating another win. And I know you started to throw some shout outs out, but the floor is yours.
Yeah, Chris, obviously our country is going through some stuff right now. All the people down south with the Hurricane Helena that's, happened. And I have some friends that were impacted and some family members, Ray Lane and his family, Christina and JT Thomas down in Florida. I hope they're safe. They all decided to stick this one out. Milton coming along, hitting and everything. So our shout out and
Go ahead.
Did I mistake?
No. Go ahead. You're fine.
Anyways, we just our thoughts and prayers
Yeah.
with them, and freaking. I know Joe's down there in Florida. He's debating, well, actually, he said he's going to shut some stuff up and stuff. So our prayers are with him and all our friends and family in the country. And there's a lot of devastation that comes with that stuff. So all the first responders that go out and they go and put their lives on the line to rescue people, and it's tough, but and it's right before political season is coming up on election, and so really I hope all of our just family and friends, we all just gather together and just remember what it's like to support each other. And I think that's what this is all about right now. Like, we just need to get together as a country, kind of like the 9/11 when we are all proud to be Americans. Well, you got all the relief funds and stuff that are going to be needing for the families and stuff. So with that being said, Vet to Track, they're the veterans that are supporting this league and that we are supporting. So it's tough. Vet to Track, go check them out at vettotrack.org and just think about all the veterans that are out there that are going through a hard time, all the homeless people, veterans, and just people in general. So due to the natural disasters and stuff. And Chris, thank you over here at the broadcast, man. appreciate you over at Captain Esports Network, and then the NASCAR VR with Lauren and Scott Wise with the Masters of the Draft. So appreciate you guys. I hope it was a fun race. Our hearts are heavy. God bless everybody. I'd like to say hi to my mom, my Uncle Walt, Terry Tweet, my wife and kids, and tell them thank you, because I'm blessed to have them in my life and to be able to know they're safe every day right now.
Well said. Well said. No, congratulations. And the reason why you kind of heard me, what sounded like a little bit of a chuckle, was because I saw the standings come out, and you are within 1 point of the points lead after 2 races here. So it's you versus Joe. And I remember you saying last week, you kind of gave Joe that little warning shot and said, "Hey, I'm coming for you, buddy."
Yeah, isn't it, at the end of the day, I've been trying to work consistent. We're working together as teammates, and I think that's showing at the top of the point standings. At the end of the day, though, I would much rather push that man to a championship than to go do it myself and take it from him, just to make that clear. If I'm in a position to where I have to choose to make him win the championship or myself, I'm going to make sure he wins the championship.
Strong words right there.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate it. Appreciate your time, buddy. Congratulations on the win. And obviously, we shall talk next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, Chris. And just remember, man, teamwork makes the dream work. And sometimes it's okay to sacrifice winning all the time to make sure other people enjoy the success and want to be doing it over and over again. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody that supports us over here on iRacing with the Masters of the Draft series and with the Captain Esports Network series. Without you guys, we wouldn't even want to come show out and do this stuff. So we do appreciate that. Thank you for your time, resources, and energy. It's much appreciated.
Appreciate it, bud. Good job tonight, and congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. As Travis Gilbert has swept the 2 Monza races here so far. I'm going to throw that one up in the rest in peace to Alex Trebek. Something I didn't think I'd see for 300. Falls in that category right there. Great job on his part on going to victory lane here tonight. And you heard me kind of do a little chuckle in there. It's because I saw the point standings pop up here. And looking at them, here they are. It's a 1-point separation between Wells and Travis Gilbert, the 2 winners so far here this season. Roger Rios Matias, 59 points back after leading 47 laps here this evening. Shane Ward, Jacob Bowen, your top 5 in the Gen 7 championship. It's going to be pretty close here, I think, throughout these next 2 races, going to Atlanta and then heading to Talladega for the championship race there. The overall standings after 6 races now, it is a 49-point lead from Wells to Gilbert. Quentin Clark is 3rd, Rios Matias in 4th, and Scott Wise now your top 5. Rashawn Elliott climbs up there to the 6th position. Shane Ward, Daryl Johnson, Stephen Melnick, Andrew Moore, your top 10 there overall. And on the team point side, G Lightning continue to pull away as them in high spirits. Top 2 teams right now. 126 back is Torque Wrench, the G Lightning Motorsports, and TNT Motorsports, your top 5. So, what a race it was here at Monza. Congratulations, everybody. That was good stuff. I mean, there were a few cautions, but everybody did, for the most part, a great job of racing hard, and I'm sure there'll be some unhappy people, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, right? Big shout out to Lauren and Scott for allowing me to broadcast, as always. And before I forget, a couple of things here. Should mention, talking to our Vet to Track winner tonight from Vet to Track Victory Lane was Travis Gilbert, of course, representative there from Vet to Track. So congratulations to him on going to Victory Lane here this evening, as he was able to win his 2nd race of the season. Our Hard Charger Award, presented by Superior Templating, the highest spots gained in a race in which everybody qualified, which is per the rules. Looks like I'm seeing Quentin Clark, 5th position, 13 positions up. Going to be the Superior Templating Hard Charger Award. Congratulations to Quentin on getting that award. Big shout out to all the sponsors here, helping out the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing, starting with the Vivid EV, of course, the Pole Award sponsors. Wise Guy iRacing Graphics helping sponsor the stage winner, the Hard Charger Award, presented by Superior Templating. And, of course, Victory Lane and the main series, presented by Vet to Track. Make sure you check out Vet to Track and help veterans who are obviously trying to move on with their lives as they get an opportunity to get on a motorcycle and run some laps and have some fun and be able to enjoy life after what will be the toughest job they'll ever have to do, and that's fighting for this country. And we appreciate what all the vets do to help support us. All right, we're heading out next week to Atlanta. Race 3 of this Vet the Track Masters of the Draft series in the next-gen car. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night for the next broadcast, as we'll be at Eldora for some great racing. This isn't just a game, it's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.